here with Czafari, an alternative R&B singer and songwriter from the West Midlands. Tell us a little bit more about you and your start in music.
I feel like music's just always been a part of me. Like no matter what, it's just always been in me. When I was about 4 years old, I probably started singing. And my mom, she really pushed me into any kind of opportunity she could to kind of get my voice out there. And so she would like enter me into like singing competitions and stuff. And I actually performed to be Jamelia, which is another like Birmingham-based singer when I was younger, for a talent competition at school. So I just feel like the stage has just always been my thing, and music's always been in my bones. And I even trained as a dancer. I trained in musical theatre as well. So it's never left my side. And as I got a bit older, I tried to actually like pursue it as a career, and now I'm here pursuing it. So yeah, it's just something that I just can't ever not do, basically.
Yes, it's integrated in your identity. I love to hear
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
it. Going from you as an artist, who are your like top musical influences?
So I think they range quite a bit actually. I think for me, definitely Erica Badu. Just her style, the things that she sings about, her voice is just beautiful. But also Lily Allen a little bit as well. A little bit different to Erica Badu, but I like how she's just like unapologetic with her lyrics. She just says what she wants to say, and I write that a lot. I love Rihanna as well. Rihanna's my girl. And I also love Leanne Havas as well. She's got a lot of soul to her. So I think it's just like there's loads of different things about each and every one of them, but they all really inspire me in different ways. So yeah, they're definitely they're the top ones for me.
Love to hear it. And going back to your original background of obviously doing competitions and working in musical theatre, which one do you love doing the most? Is it musical theatre? Is it more R&B? What would you say is your main lane, or do you still want to dabble in all of them?
I think my main lane is definitely R&B. I feel like I've definitely dabbled in loads of different things. I was even part of a grunge band when I was younger, but I wasn't actually singing, I was playing the drums. So it's just always been quite experimental for me. And I think it's because I listen to a range of music as well. I've always wanted to just try different things and see how it goes. But I think R&B is my main thing, and then I try and put little things with it as well, just to kind of, tick all the boxes.
Yeah, of course. You're dynamic, you're good at it all. That's what I love to hear from people, they love to experiment. So
Yes.
starting with your first EP that of course came out 8 years ago, it was very hard to find that on social media platforms and on
Yes.
streaming platforms. How do you think you've grown from that original project? What was your inspirations at the time? What were you going through?
Oh my God, that was a very different time for me. So I was 17 when I released that EP. I was working on it whilst I was at college. I actually made it at my local community centre in Tipton. Um, I had no expectations from it. I literally just went to my community centre just to make music with a few friends. And there was a guy called Aaron there who pushed every single young person in the space to just do what they want to do. And for me, it was to make music. And he was a producer as well. He was a producer, but also like a kind of like a bit of a mentor for the young people there. And I recorded my songs there. He kind of like mixed it a little bit, and he was like, "There you go." And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to put it on SoundCloud. This was back then, SoundCloud was the way to kind of release music. I had no idea about streaming platforms then. It wasn't really my thing. So I remember I released it and I just shared it with friends on Facebook at the time. And I was like, oh, I've got new music. And I expected nothing. But then soon after, I had gig inquiries coming through. And I didn't know whether I could do it because I'd never sang really with my own music before. I didn't have a band, so at the time I was just singing with the backing track, the instrumentals, and just doing it really. And it was a really good way to kind of get out of my comfort zone a little bit when I was 17. And it really kind of shaped my love for music on a different level because I had no expectations from it, but then good things started to happen. So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to keep going and keep going. So yeah, and I've met some amazing musicians along the way from doing it. So it's been
Yeah.
good.
And of course, you're a songwriter as well. So was that your first time properly writing down songs, or had you written your whole life and that was your first official project, releasing it, kind of finalizing your songwriting?
I think I've always been a writer. Like I always used to write stories and just creative writing basically and give them to my mum and dad. And I remember we had like a little box computer years ago and I would write on Microsoft Word some stories and print them out and put like pictures on them and give them to my family members to read them and they'll be like, oh, okay. But then as I got a little bit older, I was probably around like 10 or something then. As I got a bit older, I wanted to write songs and that, I think I was probably about 15, maybe 16. I was like, oh, I love music. Why don't I actually write some songs? And then that was the first time when I was writing that EP, I actually started to write to instrumentals and give it a go, give it a try. But I actually didn't know what I was writing about. I was quite young. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm just having fun. My lyrics have no meaning. But deep down, they actually did. Now I'm looking back, I was actually trying to say quite a few things actually. But yeah, it's only recently I've started to realise.
And would you ever release that project on Apple Music, Spotify now, or do you want to just leave it on SoundCloud, wherever it is?
You know what? That's a very good question. I think I actually would, but I would have it all recreated and I would probably have it all recorded with a live band instead, just so it can sound a little bit different and a bit fresh, but also for anyone who's followed me from then, they'll recognize the music as well. So yes, I would love to do that.
That would be a sick idea, especially you could do it for like your 10-year anniversary. Ariana Grande did that and she did like a live instrumentation version.
Oh, you're saying all the right things.
You know, many ideas to come up.
That is very true. Thank you
Love
so much.
it.
I like it.
So you said that songwriting is a way for you to release your thoughts whilst exploring like the nuances in your voice. How has your songwriting, of course, evolved? You tapped into, you started writing stories, of course, and then that was you getting into the instrumentals. How do you think story writing and songwriting has really helped you express your emotions in when back when you were 17 and now?
I think it's again, I think I've just always had like a love for writing, but I kind of like to like kind of put the ideas out of my brain onto paper, even if it's like journaling. I love that. Just to kind of get the words out. And I find it a really good exercise for me to actually like think about the things that are bothering me or the things that are like constantly on my mind and put them down on paper and then kind of like, oh, this is something that's really important to me. Let me write a song about it. And it is songwriting is very similar to storytelling because I feel like you putting people through an experience. When you read a book, you put them through an experience. So and I think a song is just a short way to do that, but a bit more colourful because you have the instrumentals, you have the instruments, and I think it's about feeling. It's about the story. It's not the story, but it's the journey that you want to put someone through when they listen to a song. The same way how you read a book, I think. And I think as I've got a little bit older, there's certain messages that I want to get through in my songs. Whereas before it was just like fun and they had no meaning. But now it's about what's personal to me, what I want to tell the world, and how other people may find it relatable as well.
Mhm. What would you say your favorite lyric is that you've written?
Oh, so for me, it's probably from my latest EP, Things Take Time. And it's on the track Things Take Time actually. And and there were times I thought I'd die, knowing that I didn't even try. Um, and it kind of symbolizes the kind of the state that I was in after I became a mom and how difficult it was. And like the way how I kind of got through that dark time was I kept telling myself, if you don't try all the things that you've always wanted to try, you'll never know. So pick yourself back up and start doing the things that you want to do the things that you enjoy, and just live and just try and live your life basically. And I think that's what I had to try and kind of tell myself during the time that I can still do it. And I think I have done it. I'm doing it even. I'm doing it.
Yeah. I think it's very scary for artists or anyone going into creative field really taking that risk. But I love the
Mm,
fact that you're a testament to I'm doing it. And I think it's nice to see if you can do it, anyone can do it. It drives
yes.
inspiration in people as well.
Definitely, definitely. And that's what I've always tried to do with people, like even my friends. I'm always pushing them to just do the thing and be creative. And you can have so many ideas, but they're not going to be true until you actually action them. So yeah.
Yeah. Even talking about you personally, last year you was diagnosed with ADHD. Can you talk a bit more about your diagnosis and tell us how you think that has affected you as an artist?
Yes. So you know what is crazy, because all my life I've noticed, well, even my family, they know there was just something. And I think as I've got older and there's a bit more information online, it became very apparent that I've got ADHD. And it's something that I'm still learning to kind of manage and understand about myself. But once I got diagnosed with it, it just made sense. Like, and I'm trying to kind of not really think about the weaknesses too much and think about the strengths. So the creativity that comes with ADHD, and I know that that's kind of just been in my bones non-stop since I was born. So it is going with it and just learning that I am more creative. I'm not as academic as I want to be sometimes, but then trying to use that as a way to kind of fuel my music and fuel, the different kind of creative things that I want to do. And it is a strength to have it, but there is the other side where it takes a long time to do things sometimes, because you get really bad imposter syndrome and you procrastinate a lot because you think, oh, it doesn't matter. And then time goes by and it's like 6 months and I had that idea, but I didn't action it. And it's just, there's so many things that come into having ADHD, and the time blindness as well is wild, because I think I've got more time than I have sometimes, and I don't. So I feel like I'm always trying to play catch up, and there's just so many different things that I'm learning about myself that I've struggled with over the years. And I didn't go to university because I probably wouldn't have been able to have managed it at all. But then at the same time, it's a blessing, because the time that I was meant to go to university, I was spending it on my music and gigging and doing festivals and stuff at 18. So I've kind of had to start being a bit more kind to myself recently and think you may be a bit different to other people, and some people have done things that you haven't done, but then you have done other things as well. So yeah, it's been quite enlightening. And it's quite nice to see that there's so many people out there as well who also are neurodivergent. And it's just good to connect with people who are also struggling but shining at the same time. So yeah, it's a journey. Let's put it that way.
I'd love to hear about like your clarification and your more of an understanding on it. And I would also love to like hear more about that. I think people with ADHD would love to see a creative, how their brain works and see the relatabilities within that. I feel like you should make more content on that. I think it's a really good
Definitely.
idea.
Yes, and I think it goes to having loads of ideas, but being so overwhelmed with all the ideas, never actually actioning them. So it's something that I'll definitely want to try and get better at. But it's like with music, there's so many songs I've wrote, so many songs, and I'll just never ever release them because I'm quite a perfectionist as well. It's like I start a project and then I don't finish it. Once the novelty goes, I'll start another thing and I don't finish it. And again, it's classic ADHD style. But at the same time, I guess it's kind of fueled me to keep making more, because I always want to try something new because I get bored quite easily. So again, ADHD. So yeah, there's so many different things. And yeah, maybe I think it is kind of sharing it outwards and finding other people that also are relating to it as well, because it's definitely not me. It's not just me, and it's been so hard to actually digest that as well, because growing up, even at school, I thought I was the only one that couldn't really concentrate or take things in. And it wasn't just me. So it's quite refreshing. It's refreshing, really, to get to this point.
It's amazing to get the message out there anyway. If
Mm,
we talk about your most recent EP, of course, things take time. How do
mm.
you think that EP differs from your previous one?
There's a lot of growth, so much growth. Like you can hear that I was quite young with my first EP. There wasn't, it was experimental. Like I love to be experimental with my music anyway, but it was very like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go with the flow and do whatever I felt like at the time. But with Things Take Time, I spent a lot of time thinking what I wanted this project to be, especially because there was such a gap between my first EP and this EP. Like I've released singles in between, but like I wanted this project to kind of symbolize where I'm at the moment, what my life looks like as an artist, as a person, as a mom, as a daughter, as a sister, just as a person. And it's definitely growth, even in terms of just my sound. I feel like I've conquered it a little bit more now, but I had to experiment and I had to kind of trial and error things to kind of get to this point. And to me, it's still the very beginning for my journey as well.
Yeah, it is an 8 year difference, so there is a lot to learn. You grow up, you went from
Mm,
being a young adult to now a full adult. So I love
mm.
that there's so many things that you can kind of sound from both projects and see where you was at. If
Yes.
like quickly go through each track and you just tell me a little bit about each one. Let's start off
Mhm.
with Insane. What can you tell me about the first track?
So I love Insane. I love all of them, but I love Insane. Insane is basically kind of like celebrating the calm after the storm. So there's been, as growing up, there's been so many times where like I would be in situations where I would be head over heels for somebody and then kind of find out that then they don't have the same feelings for me, and it would drive me insane. So it's kind of like getting over that kind of period in your life where you crushing over someone, you love them so much, and then you kind of realize that you know what, that wasn't for me anyway, and you just feel a little bit lighter knowing that the badness is gone.
Yeah.
So that's Insane. Yeah,
I
very
feel
good
like
one.
that track is Sisters with Insane by Summer Walker.
Oh yes, I do love a little bit of Summer
Honey
Walker.
Please. So getting on
Mm.
to the next track, Please Don't Go.
So that's quite an interesting track because whenever I tell people the actual meaning behind this, they're like, "Oh, I thought it was about like a romantic relationship," but it was actually it's a dedication to my late friend Ruth, who was also in the Birmingham music scene. She passed away recently, and it's basically a message to say if I had like just one more day with her, I would basically just kind of say all these things, all the things I would say to her, just how much I appreciated her time and how much she made me look at things differently because she was so good at that. I'll never forget, she told me to make sure I had a day to myself each week and be kind to myself. So, yeah, it's a song celebrating her legacy and just what I remember her to be for me and my relationship with her. And yeah, I just wish I spent more time with her before she passed away. So, yeah.
That is a beautiful way to honor her in a song. That's why I love music because people can tell their truth in there and there's so many stories and messaging. And I think
Yeah.
that's beautiful that she's an artist as well and you got to create a song for her. Going on to
Mm,
the next track, Tell Me Why.
so I think this this is kind of a bit of a rebellious song. So having ADHD hasn't been very easy to kind of work in, like, I don't know, how do I explain it? It's very hard to kind of just go through the system and grind every single day, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. And that's never really worked for me. So it's kind of me questioning, why do we have to tell me why we have to live our lives for somebody else sometimes, or tell me why we have to kind of always not look after ourselves and just always try and please other people when really and truly I don't want to do that. So it's a bit of a rebellious track, and I think it's part there's that part of me that is quite rebellious. So I wanted to get it out and kind of debate with the world. So yeah, debate with the world. Yeah.
Love to
Yes.
hear it. The next track, you're gonna have to tell me how to pronounce.
So it's Kaim.
Okay, tell me a bit more about that. Where does the name come from?
So Kaim is my daughter's name. So it's a Scots Gaelic name that means sanctuary. So it's to feel protected. And she definitely makes me feel protected. But I wanted to get her on this EP because I wanted to let people know that, you know, I am a mom now. This is the growth. I'm celebrating my motherhood, but I'm also trying to almost educate my daughter to express herself the way how I'm expressing myself through music. I wanted to kind of, it actually was a conversation that I recorded on my phone just because we were just having a chat after school one day. And then I was like, oh, I actually like this. So I kind of chopped up some pieces from our conversation and then kind of repeated it over the instrumental to Things Take Time and added a bit of effects on it and stuff. And yeah, and then Qayyum came to life. But yeah, it's just a symbol of motherhood and how I want my daughter to be vocal about her feelings, and she can basically, it's a safe space to talk to me.
That is a beautiful name and a beautiful meaning as well. From that track and Things Take Time, you of course talk about motherhood. It's your daughter's musical debut. How has motherhood shaped your artistry?
It's given me way more purpose. And I feel like I'm almost trying to make sure that I'm 100% straight with myself and I am true to myself along the way. And I have to make sure that I'm doing good things for myself so I'm happy so I can show that to my daughter and I can be the best mom to her, because my mom has done amazing things for me. When I was younger I probably didn't notice it, but now I'm an adult, I'm appreciating her so much, because if she didn't kind of push me to do certain things or put me in certain spaces with certain people, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. So I'm grateful for that. And I think Things Take Time is kind of talking a little bit about my relationship with my mom and then my relationship with my daughter. And it's kind of like a generational thing where things take time, but at the same time, once you put the work in and you actually reflect a little bit, good things can happen. And yeah, I think, yeah, Things Take Time is definitely, it's motherhood. That's what it is. It's all about.
Yeah, motherhood, it seems absolutely like beautiful. And whenever I speak to mothers, they always say you're looking through life through a different lens. It's like when
Yes.
you have a child, everything you once prioritizes out the window and everything changes. What made you
Yes.
want to do Things Take Time as the title track of the EP, name it after that? And why was motherhood such an important theme to have as the main theme for this EP?
I think I when I became a mom, I was a completely different person. I had a huge identity crisis. Like I didn't quite know myself. And it was during lockdown as well. So I couldn't really do the things I would normally do. I was kind of a shell of myself essentially, which a lot of mothers go through, but it's not spoken about enough in my opinion. You just expected to kind of have a child and everything's so good, but it is extremely hard. And I was 20 years old when I had my child, so it was quite difficult. But I think it's kind of like motherhood is my identity now, but I'm still the same person that I was before. And I want to make sure that like people see me. I am a mom, but I am still me as well. Like I'm still fun. I'm still creative. I can still have a laugh. I haven't lost myself. Even though I thought I did, I'm still the same person. And I want my daughter to see me as an individual. I'm her mom, but I want her to see me as an individual. And I'm inspired by her every single day. She's a child, but she inspires me, and I want to inspire her as well. I just feel like it's a two-way street.
Yeah,
Yes.
that sounds like so integral to people as human beings. It sounds so simple if you could play a role for somebody else, but not lose your own identity. From your own EP, of course, this one getting released in 2025 and the other one in 8 years ago. What are the
Mm.
key lessons you've learned in that time?
To take things slow and not beat myself up if things are taking a little bit longer than anticipated. I think that's kind of like having ADHD, though. Sometimes you just get caught up in just living really fast and just always trying to do something, and hyperactive side of it is very true. But I think I'm learning I need to slow down, and I can only do what I can because I get burnt out quite easily. And I can't do what most people can do. So it's just taking things slow. Another thing is, I would say, I think just be open with people and talk to people about the things you want to do, and just have conversations with people and not just talk about mundane stuff, talk about fun stuff. I think that's one thing. And then I think the third thing would be to just have more confidence in what I can do, because clearly I can't get away from music, so I just need to not be modest about it and just, yeah, just do it.
Yeah, those are key lessons that anyone can take a bit from. Starting
Yes.
with you using your artistry to connect with the community, you're starting the choir, sing out of
Yeah.
trouble. What made
Yeah.
you want to start this choir? Give me some backstory. How did it come about?
So I like getting my nails done by my friend who owns a nail salon in the Joy Quarter, Shanique. And we connect over music, we connect over so many things because we were kind of like brought up in the same era. We listen to the same music, we've got very similar interests. And she's like, anytime I talk to her about anything, she's like, always comes up with amazing ideas. And she's like, oh, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. And I'm like, oh my god, another project. So she suggested so many different projects for me to do over the like maybe like the past year. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do that as well. But recently she said to me, she's like, oh, you should start an R&B choir. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, I would definitely go to that. I would love a space to just sing my heart out. Like, I'm not a singer, but I would just love a space to sing my heart out. And I was like, oh, you know what? That's quite interesting, because I actually started to sing in a choir. I've actually sang in many choirs actually over the years, and it actually makes sense. And she started to kind of like show me some content of like some kind of like really small choirs that she follows online. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is definitely something that I could do. And I've led workshops in the past before, like songwriting workshops, creativity workshops. So I feel like it is definitely something that I just love teaching people. And when I was younger, I wanted to be a dance teacher, but I think maybe it's actually more music teacher, because I just kind of love to lead people. So when she was telling me this, I was like, you know what? Everything, yes, this is in alignment of everything that is part of Czafari. So I thought, you know what? Why not? Let's give it a go. And the funniest thing is, I actually wasn't going to post the call out video because I wasn't happy with it, because I'm a perfectionist. And I remember showing it to my partner. I was like, "Oh, what do you think of this?" And he was like, "Oh, this is sick." And I was like, "No, I don't like it. I should have spoke with a microphone, or the audio doesn't sound good, or I was not going to post that video. I felt like I wasn't ready. And then he was like, just do it. I slept on it. And I was like, fine, I'll just post it. Not expecting people to be so interested in it. I only wanted like 10 to 15 people in this choir, just like just a little project, to kind of work on, to get me back into kind of music mentoring again, and meeting new people and connecting over R&B music, which I love. And that, I didn't really expect much from it at all. But then it's just kind of become a beast.
Yeah, it's crazy how your own mind can play tricks on you and stop you because it's a
Yeah,
great idea and you was overthinking it and everybody wants to be involved.
definitely overthinking it, definitely. And I think I needed to kind of action it. And me and Shanique, my now lady, like we just speak about things all the time, to be honest, but it's just conversation. So the fact that like I was just like, oh yeah, let's action it, let's see who wants to, like, be part of the choir. And the fact that People are so interested in it. Shows that there's value there, and people want to be with people and doing things out of their houses, out of their phone. So yeah, the need is there. So I've got no choice but to do it now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's good to hear that you don't have to be like a Beyonce level singer. Anybody at any level can get involved, and it's just a bit of fun.
That's the thing. It's just fun. And I think, there is so many different amazing singers out there, and I want them to. But it is a space for people to kind of just get together and just sing the way how you would sing in the shower. Just sing, and I'm going to be there to kind of lead and make sure everything still sounds great. But it is a space to just have fun, but feel safe as well, with people who have very similar interests to you, who are also very passionate about R&B. And yeah, I think it's definitely something that Birmingham needs right now, because the response, the demand, oh my god, yeah. I actually can't believe I wasn't going to post that video.
No, it's crazy. Like, we do need more spaces in Birmingham, and of course, all the spaces are full now. But I hope you expand it in the future because a lot of people want to get involved.
They
I
do.
always love to finish off my interviews with a quick fire round of questions that I love to ask everyone. Are you ready?
Yes, yes.
Okay, first question. If you were a boxer, what would your ring walk song be?
Oh, it will be Paramore Ignorance. That song.
If
Yeah.
you were in a food fight, what would your food of choice be?
Oh, it would be meatballs.
Oh, that's such a good. I haven't heard that one, but I feel like that is definitely top five.
I mean,
What
it's
would,
easy to throw, so.
exactly, and it's messy. You need that.
Yes.
What childhood movie shaped you as a kid?
Oh, Angus thongs and perfect snogging.
A rom-com.
Yeah, rom-com, and the music was great in there. So yeah, yeah.
Love it. Death roll meal, starters, main, sides, desserts.
Oh my God. Okay, so it would have to be fish and chips. It would have to be like salt and vinegar, but more vinegar than salt. So that would be like main. Oh, I think I'm going to say size. I'm going to say chips.
More
Fish and chips. No mushy peas or anything, just fish and chips. Dessert, it will be a cookie dough, Smarties cookie dough with vanilla ice cream. Yes, that would be it.
that's
I'll be satisfied then.
yeah, that's so delicious. And final question, top five albums of all time.
This is tricky for anyone who does music or is it like that. This is probably the hardest question you could ever ask. um, but I think for me, it's gonna have to be Paramore again. Brand New Eyes. I'm a very big Paramore fan. Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. Again, obsessed. Um, Warpaint's debut album that came out, I think it's like 2014. Amazing. The Kooks, their album, I think it's like Inside Out, something like that. Some of their songs were on the Angus Songs and Perfect Snogging films, and that's where I first discovered their music. And I was like, I love indie music. And the last one, Rihanna's album, Loud. Obsessed. Up to now, I'm still obsessed, and that came out like 2009 or something. But yeah, those are my albums.
I love the variation in those albums. I love it so much. So many different genres, so many different types of artists. Thank you so much for chatting with me today.
No, thank